Okay. Good morning, everyone. My name's Mickey Draper. I'm a health, safety and fire consultant for THSP. Today's Toolbox Talk is something that might seem basic, however, it's absolutely critical. Today's Toolbox Talk will be on the topic of housekeeping. Now, I know when you hear housekeeping, people think of sweeping up and binning rubbish, but poor housekeeping causes real injuries. It contributes to serious incidents and costs lives. So let's take a few minutes to break it down and understand why it matters. So today's Toolbox Talk then, what we're going to cover is why it matters, the legal requirements. We'll talk about some common site issues. We'll talk about what our role is and what we can do to make housekeeping standards better on site. And then we'll finish off with a quick summary. The first section then, so why it matters. So here's the reality then. So slips, trips and falls are the most common cause in a workplace injury in the UK. According to HSE statistics in 23, there were over 30% of non-fatal injuries in construction caused by slips, trips and falls, mostly due to poor housekeeping. It's not just about tripping over cables or debris. Poor housekeeping can be, it can obstruct fire exits. It can hide additional hazards. It can increase fire risk, especially when flammables are not disposed of properly, lead to materials falling from height, waste time and reduce productivity. And worst of all, 9 times out of 10 is completely avoidable. I'll just touch briefly on the legal aspect then, the legislation that covers housekeeping. So let's be clear then, so it's not good just practice, it is actually law. So key legislations include the Health and Safety at Work Act 1974. Employees and workers have a duty to ensure the safe working environment. The Workplace Health and Safety and Welfare Regulations 1992, Regulation 9 requires workplaces to be clean with waste materials removed regularly. The CDM regulations then, the Construction Design and Management Regulations 2015. Duty holders must plan and manage sites to prevent hazards, including those from poor housekeeping. Not meeting these standards then can lead to fines, enforcement notices, site shutdowns, or even prosecutions if someone gets hurt. Common site issues. You've probably seen these, you walk around site. You may have even walked past them today. So let's talk about some then. So offcuts of wood, cables, bricks laying left around, overflowing bins or skips, poor material storage blocking walkways, spilt liquids not cleaned up, loose tools, nails left on scaffoldings. And there's obviously many, many more, but that's just a brief example of some common site issues that I see when I do my health and safety inspections on site. So what happens when these sort of issues are left then? So someone trips, slips, they cut themselves, and it could be prevented by just taking 30 seconds to clear. So if you see it, let's try and clean it up because it's everyone's responsibility. That brings us nicely into the next section then. So your role and what you can do. So good housekeeping is everyone's responsibility. It's not just for the labourer. It's not just for the supervisors and managers. If you see something that can cause a hazard, it's the right thing to do is just to clean it up and or take it where it needs to be. Here's what you can do then. So you can tidy up as you go, as I've just said, or don't leave it for later. Dispose of waste in designated bins or skips. Yeah. Keep walkways and access routes clear at all times. Stack materials safely and neatly. Report any spillages, blockages or hazards as soon as you see it. And don't assume that someone else will sort it. Take action and sort it yourself. For the supervisors, for the managers, then set the example. If people see you leaving things lying around, they'll potentially do the same. That brings us to the last section then, obviously the summary. Okay. So what have we covered today then? We've covered why it matters. We've covered the legal requirements. We've talked about some common site issues. We've talked about what we can do. Yeah. So good housekeeping isn't about looking tidy. It's about being safe, efficient, and professional. It's not just a legal requirement, it's a moral one. Okay. You don't want to be the guy who walks past something that then causes an accident, an incident, that could lead to someone else getting injured or hurt or needing time off work. Because, if people have time off work, we obviously don't get paid. Slips, trips, and fires from poor housekeeping are real, common, and preventable. So let's keep our sites clean, clear, and safe for ourselves and everyone else on site. This covers my toolbox talk on housekeeping. I appreciate your time today, and let's stay safe out there, guys. Thank you very much.